Hi, this is John from Photo Night. I'm here to give you another tutorial. In this case, I'm going to show you the Angelic method of developing a photograph. It's pretty simple. You'll like the effects. You'll find that some of your highlights that you're suffering with on clipping can actually be useful still in some cases. You don't have to necessarily throw them all out. Alright, so I'm here in the library module, and I'd like to, I think in this case, go to some of my India pictures. So let's go up to keyword list. And right now I've got pieces from the Chesapeake Bay Maritime Museum, and right down here in India got 10 images I want to work with. Just click on the arrow on the right, and let's go find one that's okay, this one has some nice clipping on the highlights that I can work with. Alright, so I'll select that one, come up to develop, and in the develop module let the image load, and it's time to make some adjustments. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to pretty much scroll down the list. I'll start with adjusting some temperature. I think I'd like a little bit more warmth on this. I'm going to try and bring out some of those colors that are in the shadows too. And instead of sitting here down under all the tones, undertone with exposure, recovery, fill light, blacks, I'm instead going to work with it on the histogram. So you can see up here I've got the blacks that I can manipulate. I have my fill light, my exposure, and recovery. Alright, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to push up the exposure, brighten things up here. And I'm going to overdo it a bit intentionally. You'll see why soon. Yeah, that's a little ridiculous, but like I said, it's totally intentional. And my blacks, I'm not going to manipulate because I want to keep my shadows. And normally I'd want to come in here and I'd want to do some recovery to deal with that clipping. And to show you what my clipping looks like, let's turn it on. There you go. So that's a lot of clipping on the highlights, but that's okay. I want that intentionally. So I'm going to come down here. I'm not going to adjust the brightness anymore. Get a little bit of a tweak on the contrast. Now this is where the Angelic effect really comes into play. Clarity gives you localized sharpening. Okay, as you can see, as I push it up, it's easy to overdo it. Now, what if I throw it in the reverse direction? I get a nice Angelic effect, a halo, so to speak, around my highlights. And that's the point. Now, there's only one real problem with doing it like this. If you're going for that effect, and you've created a blur, you have those highlights, like I said, it's like a nice halo. Whoever's printing this image for you, they might think that you overexposed it, and the truth is you did, but they don't have the interest invested in it, and they might come along and adjust the exposure and try to get rid of some of that for you. But quite often people like it. Now, I think I'd actually like a little bit more of an effect. There we go. See how it brings the kid out with the cricket bat? It does wonders. Alright, so let's jump down a bit. I'm going to increase the vibrance a little bit. Just a little. Go for those primary colors. I'm not going to adjust my saturation. As you can see, I don't dare touch the tone curve because I don't want to get rid of my special effect. But I am going to come in here and take a look at some of my sharpening. Maybe I can do something with this. Lord knows, as a general rule of thumb, you really want to you want to try and work with your sharpening whenever possible. Okay, set everything down to 0. Adjust this, tweak that up. I'll go about there, and let's see how that affects. I got a little bit of an effect out of it, not too much. Now I have some pretty good continuous tones in here. Let's see if I can do something with that. Let's go for luminance first. Getting a little help out of luminance. And we'll check color. like what the color is doing for me. It's helping out a little bit. So is luminance. There's a lot of noise in this image. It was definitely from somebody's point-and-shoot cameras where it originally came from. But I was adjusting this originally as a favor for my friend, so be it. Okay, now I can do some post-cropping, vignetting if I like, but let's take a look and see what cropping will do for us just to begin with. First, I'll try and straighten up my lines. Okay, that helps. And let's see if we can get a better effect. Yeah, I'm going to leave it right there. Let's drop our crop. Let's take a look and see what we think about throwing in some vignette. You know, in all reality, I think that'll be where I stop with that. Okay, so this is John from photonight.com, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial of the Angelic development method. And really, it's just a matter of getting to play with that clarity. It can do some wonders for when you have a lot of clipping. And like I said, when you have a lot of clipping, it can really help out, give you a nice effect, give you a nice glow that you can play with. All right, till I